Hi, welcome to the reading nook area of my classroom. I absolutely am going to regret filming this during class, change, but this is my planning period and I'm doing stuff after school, so you're all just gonna have to make do. Also, they're cutting grass today and the bell is inevitably going to catch me, so we're gonna do the best we can. I swear to God, they have cut the grass outside my window now twice in the past 24 hours. I think you got it all. Anyway. Okay, let's talk about why we're gathered here today. I'm going to do an unhaul, and not just like any unhaul. This is a classroom book haul because I ordered books last week was Teacher Appreciation Week, and I ordered books from a company called First Book. First Book, I think, typically only does educators and librarians and people who work with children to provide like newer books for cheaper prices. It's sort of like Book Outlet or thrift books, but specifically for educators and librarians. It's the first order I've ever placed with them, so I'm very excited but also very nervous. But they offered like a 20% off discount last week, so I ordered spent maybe more money than I needed to spend on my classroom library, but there were a lot of books that I've seen be popular on my shelves, and I don't have access to new releases as easy and in bulk, which is kind of the kicker here when you see how many I got of each copy. So I know like one or two things I remember putting in there, but the rest of them are going to be a complete surprise. I'm so excited they came in this early, so let's look at them. If I seem really quiet, it's because, again, this is my planning, and I don't want students to come see me. I want to be alone for a while, so I'm trying to be very quiet. We have bubble wrap. More bubble wrap. All right. Okay, I do have a receipt, so I can check everything. I got Angel of Greenwood. I've been meaning to get a copy of this. I think this has actually been in my classroom library wants list for a while because it's about Black Wall Street and the burning of it. So I think this will be really relevant to some of my kids who are interested in historical stories we don't really learn about in school. Ooh, I got multiple copies of Punching the Air, because this is a poem about a young man who gets put into a juvenile detention center and sort of how he maintains his self and sanity while he's there, but it's written in verse, which is really neat. I listened to this on audiobook last semester, I think, and I found it really good. So I've got this as an option as a reading thing if my students want to read something like that as a group. I think I did get, multiple copies of Angel of Greenwood. Amazing. This is the one I was very excited about. The Poet X has been a bestseller essentially in my classroom since last year. I let one of my students borrow it and she loved it. She still talks about it. I let another one of my students borrow it. She was so mad it doesn't have a sequel. So I got multiple copies of the Poet X. That way we can have the opportunity for multiple people to borrow at one time, so it's not just one person can read it and no one else gets to experience it. I see feet outside my door. Go away. I don't want to talk to you right now. Being a teacher is hard. Being a favorite teacher is even harder. But on the vein of Elizabeth Acevedo, I also got Clapham Land. I believe I got multiple copies of that, because I knew this is going to be a popular one, because this is her newer release. And again, this didn't cost that much because it's for educators to be able to afford new books. So this is about two sisters. If you don't know what When You Land is about, it's about two sisters who find out their father died in a plane crash, and that's actually how they find out about each other and their different life experiences because they grew up in different places. I got the Henna Wars. I think I only got one copy of this because I have multiple LGBT students, but I also have multiple students who specifically are women who love women, and they've asked for more gay books, and I'm here to provide. They've kind of run me out of all my other gay books, so this is what we got. I got Wake the Bones because I do have kids who like horror and horror adjacent things, and this is a lot of body horror and Southern Gothic vibes. I feel like I could use this in class probably, and it just came. It's a heavy one. Oh, I'm interested in this one. This is the newest Jason Reynolds, Ain't Burned All the Bright. I have not read Long Way Down, but a lot of the kids have, and we have that and graphic novel versions of it already, so this will be good for kids who maybe have run through all of his stuff. They want to read something a little bit newer. I got The Ogress and the Orphans mainly because Kelly Barnhill, The Girl Who Drank the Moon, was so beautiful that I want to give this a shot. I want to read it, but also I want to have it in the classroom. If it's half as decent as The Girl Who Drank the Moon is, then this is probably going to be pretty decent. It's The Ogre and The Orphans. And last but not least, I got Suspended. And I actually already bought a copy of this to keep in my classroom. So this is going to be a second copy in case multiple people want to read it, or I've got some guys that want to do a reading group, some girls who want to do a reading group. They can do that. So that was everything. The box is now empty. So now I have to go about putting my little stamp on those so that way they can make their way back to my classroom. But first I think I'm going to load them back in the box and go show my teacher friend down the hallway all that I bought so she can live vicariously through me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this very brief video and this glimpse into at least a corner of my room that desperately needs to be cleaned. But planning days are coming, so I will be doing that soon. Bye. Don't you guys love my gum wall? We've been working on it since like November. It's very impressive actually if you look at it. Like, could be better. Could be better.